Welcome to BGuy TV. In this part 10 ray optics and optical instruments, I am discussing the important numericals of ray optics. So the first numerical is two plane mirrors P and Q, that is these two plane mirrors are aligned parallel to each other. These are the plane mirrors. A ray is incident at an angle theta at A. So at this point, the ray is getting incident at an angle theta. The plane of incidence coincides with the plane of the figure. So this it is getting like a plane should be same. And find a number of times the ray undergoes reflection before it emerges. That's a question. The light ray goes here, getting reflected, again going there, getting reflected, again going there, getting reflected. So the question is how many number of times it's getting reflected. Very simple question. This is the light ray incidenting. So I drawn a normal here, theta. I know the principal angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So this also theta, it goes here. Right? So I need to find this distance first. First I want to find this distance. Okay. So what is this distance? This I can find tan theta. It is opposite side by adjacent side. So I can write tan theta is opposite side. I don't know. I'm just putting this distance as x. This is d. So I'm writing tan theta equal x by d. Now this distance is x means how many x will be there here? We know the total length is L. So I am just writing nx should be equal to L. Therefore, n equals L by x. Okay. X we know, cross multiply this, L by x is d tan theta. So I can tell the number of reflections are L by d tan theta. This question you can see in many exams and all. They might have given the values of this one. They may give the value of theta. So the simple formula, use the principle angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Find out this distance. With the help of this theta, this is the opposite side and adjacent side. Take the tan theta relation. Tan theta is x by d. Then this is x. Like that, how many x are there in this L? Total distance is L. So we have written as nx equal to L. Next. The refractive index of glass is 1.5. Calculate the velocity of light in glass if the velocity of vacuum is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Also calculate the critical angle for glass air interface. Simple question only. Refractive index formula is velocity of light in vacuum by velocity of light in medium, C by V. If you want V, C by N. 3 into 10 power 8 divided by 1.5, it is 2 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. I got speed. I need to find the critical angle, that is sin C is equal to 1 by N. That is equal to 1 divided by, they gave here the refractive index as 1.5. 1 by 1.5. That is 2 by 3, 0.67. Sin inverse of 0.667. Value is almost approximately equal to 41 degree and 49 minutes. You can use log table for that. Next. The bottom of container of 4 cm thick, this is the bottom of the container. It of refractive index 1.5 slab contains two immiscible liquids A and B of depth 6 cm, 8 cm. The apparent position of the scratch on the outer surface of the bottom, here one scratch is there. When viewed through the glass, through the container, they gave the refractive index of A is 1.4 and refractive index of B is 1.3. In the previous video, I gave the shortcut equation for this. Very important question. We are viewing from here. Down is glass, then a liquid A, then a liquid B. All the height they gave. 4 cm is the thickness of the glass. They told bottom of the glass. 6 cm for the first liquid. 8 cm for the next liquid. And all the refractive index also we know. Use combined shift formula. 1 minus 1 by N1 into T plus 1 by NA into TA plus 1 minus 1 by NB into TB. We are just substituting this equation. They are given all the value 1 minus 1 by glass is 1.5 into thickness is 4 plus 1 minus first liquid 1.4 1 by 1.4 into thickness is 6 plus 1 minus 1 by refractive index is 1.3, thickness is 8. If you substitute, I'll get the value as 4.89 centimeter. So shortcut equation, if you know the shift, you can find very simply this. Next, this question also, this type of question I discussed before. You have taken a fish. I have taken the critical angle condition for this. A fish at a depth of root 7 centimeter below the surface of water. This is water. Okay, water. Here one fish is there. I have taken this as a fish. Fish is at the bottom. Sees outside world through a circular horizon. What is the radius of the circular horizon? Shortcut equation I told. If it is going like this, we are taking this as a critical angle condition. The light is traveling from a denser medium to a rarer medium. The refracted ray grazes through the surface. You are constructing a right triangle. This is C, critical angle. This is depth. This is R. So I can find tan C as tan is opposite side by adjacent side, that is R by H. R by H we can find by R by H you can find. At the same time, if you substitute the value, you are using the equation I gave n is equal to 1 by sin C. The derivation I gave in the critical angle video. So we get an equation for radius as h by root over n square minus 1. The derivation of this is there in critical angle video. H they gave it in the question, root 7 by root over n square, that is 4 by 3 square, that is 16 by 9 minus 1. Root 7 by root 7 by 3, root 7 cancel, it is 3. Very important question, the fish. In a water, what should be the circular horizon? Some question they may ask, what about the area? Area you can take it as pi r square. Next, what curvature must be given to the bounding surface of a refracting medium n equals 1.5 for a virtual image of an object in an adjacent medium n equal to 1 at 10 centimeter to be formed at a distance of 40 centimeter. See, read the question again. What curvature must be given? It means I should find R. They gave medium refractive index 1.5 and our next adjacent one is n equal to 1. They gave the object distance and image distance. Object at 10 centimeter to be formed at a distance of 40. So it means that V equal 40 and U equals 10. We are applying the sign convention because they told it is a virtual image. So I have taken the diagram. According to refraction, we should get real image this side. But they told virtual image, so object and image should lie in the same side. Object at 10 centimeter, they gave it in the question. Image also they told it is 40 centimeter. As they mentioned virtual, I mark both here. They gave refractive index of outside is 1 and this is 1.5. Only one thing to understand what data they gave. Apply the formula n2 by v minus n1 by u equal n2 minus n1 by r. Equation I can use because your object in which medium only? Rarer medium. Apply the formula, nothing more. N2 is 1.5 by v minus 40. By minus 40 sign convention. Minus 1 by u also minus 10 equals 1.5 minus 1 by r. Substitute. 1 by 10 minus 15 by 400 equals 0.5 by r. 40 minus 15 by 400 equals 0.5 by r. R equal 40 into 5 by 25, that is 8 centimeter. Okay. So you should understand where is the image. Virtual image where it forms. Real image where it forms. What should be the convention? Another question. A sunshine recorder globe of 30 centimeter diameter is made up of a glass of refractive index 1.5. A ray enters the globe parallel to the axis. Find a position from the center of the sphere where the ray crosses the axis. Find a position from center of sphere where the ray crosses the axis, they asked. So it means that they gave a diagram like this. Light rays are coming like this. So it's understood when a light ray is coming parallel to principal axis, your object should be at infinity. And there is a refraction possible. So we get an image. That image acts as an object for the second refracting surface and we should get the final image. So you should have that idea, refraction. Here there are two refracting surfaces. With first refracting surface I should get an image. So that is the first one I am doing. As a light rays are parallel, I can take u as infinity. N1 you are taken as 1 and N2 as 1.5. Radius of curvature they are given as, like a diameter they gave us 30. So radius of curvature I have taken 15. Apply N2 by V minus N1 by U equal N2 minus N1 by R. 1.5 by V1 minus 1 by infinity equals 1.5 minus 1 by 15. V1 equals 1.5 into 15 by 0.5, that is we are getting 45 centimeter. I got a positive answer. It means that I am getting here. Okay. So here I am getting a distance of 45 centimeter. But this acts as an object for this one, right? So I know that this image I am calculating from here to here. But second time this acts as an object for the second refracting surface. So I need the distance from this image to this point, this one to this surface. So we know that the diameter is 30, this is 15, right? So I have taken the distance from here. So I should subtract this diameter. So 45 minus 30 equal 15. That is the distance from this point to this point, because this acts as an object for the second refracting surface. When you are taking the V1, I have to take with respect to first refracting surface. So V1 is this one, but in the second case this will be U2. So U2 equal 45 minus 30 is equal to 15. For this surface, I know that the radius of curvature of this surface means it should come in this direction. So R should be minus 15. Okay. Then you are applying the formula N1 by V minus N2 by U is equal to N1 minus N2 by R. I hope you understood what's the reason, because we have taken this as a virtual object. And the virtual object, we are assuming that it lies in which side only, which side? It's a denser side. So that is the reason I am just taking the reverse case, because in this case object in which medium? Denser. What is the object here? The image of the first case. So we are taking two separate cases actually. So I am taking the reverse equation. This very important thing for solving this type of question. So I have taken here N1 by V minus N2 by U. N1 is 1 minus 1.5 by U is 15. V we don't know. Apply this. So 1 by V is equal to 2 by 15. V is equal to 7.5. So clearly I am getting at this side only I am getting the image at a distance of how much? 7.5. That's what I drawn like this. Few questions they'll ask you to draw the diagram. They will give only this part. Rest part 45 you have to mark. 45 act as an object for the second refracting surface, and I am getting a positive answer. So it means that here only we are getting the image. Clear? So you see in this question and the previous question, difference. Previous question we apply refraction to a spherical surface 1, because there is only one spherical surface I gave. But in this case there are two spherical surfaces, so apply 2 times the refraction equation, and that also 2 different equation I am taking. Because the first image we are assuming that it is coming, it acts as a virtual object and it lies in a denser medium. Next, calculate the radius of curvature of an equiconvex lens of refractive index 1.5 when it is kept in a medium of refractive index 1.4 to have a focal power of minus 5 diopter. In this question, they are asking radius of curvature. They gave 5 diopter means you remember 1 by f only minus 5. Okay, easy convention. 1 by f equals minus 5 I have taken. Then I use the same formula only. I have written a p here. P equals 1 by f equals n2 by n1 minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. They gave it in the question, it is equiconvex lens. So in equiconvex lens, you have to remember the convention R1 should be R and R2 should be minus R, because you take this convex lens. If you are taking this surface, this should be the radius of curvature. It will be positive. But if I am taking this surface, this should be a radius of curvature. So it is coming in the opposite direction. So this r should be positive and this r should be negative. So that's what r1 is r and r2 is minus r. So 1 by r minus of minus 1 by r. Minus minus will become plus. So 1.5 taken the LCM. 1.5 minus 1.4 by 1.4 into 2 by r. Therefore, r is equal to cross multiply 0.1 into 2 by 1.4 into 5. 0.2 by 7, that is 2 by 70, that is 1 by 35 meter, because we have taken the diopter, we did not convert directly, we are writing in terms of diopter, so it is in meter. So here you have to remember two things, how we are applying the diopter. I just substituted in the same form because 1 by f is power. Another one is, what is the convention of your equiconvex lens? R1 should be r, R2 should be minus r. If it is equiconcave lens, just reverse. R1 should be minus r, R2 should be r. Okay, understood? Equiconcave is just reverse. This is a very, very important question. A converging lens has a focal length of 20 cm in air. It is made of a material of refractive index 1.6. If it is immersed in a liquid of refractive index 1.3, what will be its new focal length? What will be its new focal length? How does the nature change if this lens is immersed in a liquid of refractive index 1.8? So this type of question, how we are doing is, simple thing is, you have to form two equation and divide the equation. We have a convex lens. Converging lens means convex lens. In air it is 20 cm is the focal length. Then in another liquid they are asking. So I am writing glass in air. I have written an equation for focal length. 1 by Fa is, instead of N2 and N1, I am writing refractive index of glass, refractive index of medium. First case, medium is air, so I wrote Ng by Na minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. This is the easiest method. If the lens is in some other liquid, that is glass in a liquid means, that time focal length will change. So I wrote 1 by Fl. Ng by, you are writing here liquid, that is Ng by Nl minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. If you divide these two equations, 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 will get cancelled. So we will get here, this term will go up. Fl by Fa is Ng by Na minus 1 divided by Ng by Nl minus 1. They gave all the values. Refractive index of glass 1.6, liquid is 1.3, and we know air is 1. So 1.6 by 1 minus 1, 1.6 by 1.3 minus 1. Substitute. Then what we are doing, Fl we don't know. F air they gave 20. Fl by 20 is 0.6 into 1.3 by 0.3. Same terms get cancelled. I'll get Fl equal 52 centimeter. What happened to your focal length? It is getting increased. So this type of question, lens immersed in a liquid means, very simple. Apply your lens maker's formula 2 times. When we are doing it like this unknown terms and all not required. They get cancelled. We need only the refractive index of the mediums. Then see the second bit. Second bit, in the previous video I told you, converging lens can show a diverging nature when the converging lens is immersed in a medium of greater refractive index. Now if you see, they are asking you immersed in liquid of refractive index 1.8. What is the refractive index of the glass here? 1.6. So shortcut I am telling, 1.8 is greater, so it shows the reverse nature only. So we can tell that we can tell that convex lens behaves as a concave lens. Here what I showed is the same equation. Instead of this NL 1.3, I substituted with 1.8. Same equation, 1.6 minus 1 by 1.6 by 1.8 minus 1, you will get the focal length. But I'm telling you should have you will get an idea about the answer. The answer should come in negative because convex lens focal length is positive. When it shows a diverging nature, its focal length should come in negative. This is very important question. Okay, so I have shown you how to find the focal length in a medium. Okay, hope you understood focal lengths dividing. Here what I did only one thing. They told to change the refractive index of the medium. So only one term will get changed. Now this is a normal situation you can use for any question. Lenses are constructed with a refractive index n equal 1.5. Radius of curvature at 20 and 30. See, you are getting a new idea that the radius of curvature can change. Find a focal length. Okay, they are given here four different types of lens. Convex lens. This is convex lens. This is concavo-convex, concave lens, convexo-concave. First it's concave, then a convex. So now you see here, what I am taking is, in a convex lens, they gave like magnitude only, 20, 30. Depends upon the diagram, you should take the sign. In this case, one radius, if you take this as a radius, this should be positive and this should be negative. So I can take R1 as 20 and R2 will come like this. The radius of curvature goes in the opposite direction. So one radius means if you make this as a curved surface, you will get like this. If you make it this one, you will get in the opposite direction. So in this case, R1 is 20, R2 we are taken as minus 30. Apply here 1 by f is equal to 1.5 minus 1 into 1 by 20 minus of 1 by minus 30. So if you solve, we will get f equal 24. I did not solve it, you have to solve it. Second case, you see this, both are curved like this, right? This is a concave nature, this also it's coming like a concave nature only. Okay, sorry, see both are forming concave. So if you make a sphere, both are forming, both radius will go this side only. So R1 is minus 20, R2 also minus 30. Both are minus. Apply minus, minus. Here middle minus minus will become plus. You can find the focal length. But if you see here, if you make this radius, it is coming as negative. But if you take this one, this radius is positive. So R1 is minus 20, whereas R2 is positive plus 30. So when you are applying 1 by minus 20 minus 1 by 30, I will get f equal minus 24. Next you see, this is a convex part. It's coming like this. This also convex. Okay, previous one, see this concave, this also concave. So in this case, both the radius are coming positive. R equal to 20, R2 is equal to, R1 equal to 20, R2 equal to 30. So we apply that formula. So tell the convention, in this case, one is positive, other one negative. In this case, both are negative. In this case, one is negative, other one is positive. In this case, both are coming as positive. So depends on the shape of the curved surface. Depends on the shape of the curved surface, you can find the focal length. Depends on the shape of the shape of the surface, you can find the focal length. Next. This is a very important sum. A symmetric biconvex lens of radius of curvature R, very important sum, okay, is placed on a layer of liquid placed on the top of a plane mirror. So down is a plane mirror. Okay, down is your plane mirror. You are keeping a lens here. Plane mirror, top we are keeping a symmetric lens. Here you are keeping a needle, optical needle you are keeping here. An optical needle with its tip of the principal axis of the lens is moved along the axis until its inverted image coincides itself. The distance of the needle from the lens is measured to be x. On removing the liquid layer, the distance is y. The meaning is you have a plane mirror. One liquid I am filling here, or one liquid we are placing over the mirror. After that, above we are keeping a lens. Okay. Then here you are keeping an object. For example, it's a needle. Then we are seeing where the image of the needle comes. So we are seeing the image of the needle means as this is the object, same like the image should coincide with this like this. So both object and image should coincide like this, both in a line. So actually this is like a liquid lens. So in this case, where the object and image get coincide, it is the focal length. That's a very important thing. Where the object and image coincide itself, that distance we call as focal length for this situation. This is the situation of plane mirror and a convex lens. So we call as like liquid lens and all. Okay, so that is the new information you should remember. The where the object and image get coincide, the distance is nothing but the